college football prime time presented by Applebee's and Mountaineer Field in Morgantown, loaded with the faithful dressed in all gold as their team will be tonight for the first time ever at home. An important collision for West Virginia, number 7 in the BCS, against Louisville as the Cardinals try to play spoiler. The winner of this game each of the last 2 years has gone on to represent this conference in the BCS. But the Connecticut Huskies at 8-1, 4-0 in the league are sitting atop the standings at this point. West Virginia, though, still controls its destiny. They get the Huskies here in a few weeks. In the meantime, though, West Virginia has business with the Cardinals in their own ballpark. Rich Rodriguez's team has never lost a home game at night. Chris Fowler, Doug Flutie, and Craig James. Well, this has been the game in the conference. Maybe some of the hype has come off because the Cardinals have struggled. But guys, the Mountaineers still have plenty to play for. They want payback last year, first of all. They're playing for the conference title, and at number 7 in the BCS, they need an impressive victory tonight to stay in the running for the national title. They're really focused, though, on the Big East Championship, but the national championship is still out there for them. This is a team, though, that has a guy that leads them in Pat White at quarterback, 22-3 in his 25 career starts. White's one of those guys that he can hurt you with his legs. He's very fast. He's mobile. He's excellent at reading the zone option. The zone quarterback read by West Virginia and Pat White is as good as it is in the country. The 9-touchdown passing, that really puts pressure on the defense. Doug, they can run it, they can throw it, and the guy in the backfield that he pitches the ball to is not bad either.
Yeah, when he decides not to run it himself, he's pitching it over to Steve Slaton. He has 13 touchdowns this year, and they're saying they're not getting the ball to him enough. Steve Slaton has over 800 yards this year. He's catching the ball a little out of the backfield. He is a threat to go all the way every time he touches the ball. Had a couple costly fumbles last year in this game, and he's just amazing. He's looking to bounce back from that game.
Well, that fires his motivation. It was the wrist injury and the fumbles that perhaps cost West Virginia the game at Louisville a year ago. The Cardinals, it's no secret, they've been very disappointing at 5-4, but Brian Brohm, the senior quarterback, has had very impressive numbers. He's had his best year statistically.
Yeah, he's amazing. He is carrying the load for this offense. They have lost some games, but he has not slacked off at all. You see over 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, a 68% passer. They have over 500 yards a game. They're going to have a shootout tonight.
But you got to have the football in your possession for Brian Brohm to go on the field. And, I could give you a lot of numbers about Louisville's defense. It really doesn't look good. This is a team that struggles defensively. They're trying to find guys who line up right and do their right assignments. So Louisville's defense, they're the one that's under the pressure tonight. They've got to find a way to slow down West Virginia's offense.
After a terrible start, they've gotten a little bit better the last couple of games, but they weren't playing against West Virginia. Here come the gold-clad Mountaineers. Back in '69, there were all gold uniforms on the road, but this is a first, and the fans showing their unity, also dressed in gold. Most of this sellout crowd here in Morgantown on a crisp November evening. Chris Fowler, Doug Flutie, Craig James, and Aaron Arias welcoming to what we hope is going to be a very entertaining Big East game. Certainly a lot at stake for the Mountaineers. Temperatures 40 degrees. It'll dip into the 30s, but no precipitation at this point. That had been feared in the last 24 hours. That's good news for the offenses.
Well, that's because yesterday there were snow flurries, little spits of snow coming down, and so at first you thought they might have an impact on the game, but now it's not.
This is the first year for Steve Cragthorpe. He was the boss at Tulsa. Hasn't been very successful, 5-4, but his team has played better on the road. Their biggest win of the season was at Cincinnati when the Bearcats were undefeated and ranked number 15. The Mountaineers very, very tough to beat, though, in Morgantown under Rich Rodriguez, especially. They have not lost a night home game. And this place, as Mark May said, can be plenty hostile. Doug, you played here in Morgantown as a visitor. You know what he was talking about.
Yes, I have. I ran into an old foe down on the sideline. I was 0-2 here in Morgantown. Guy Tim Agee, who happened to pick off 5 passes in 3 years against me, and 4 of them here.
And this is Trent Guy. He had the return of the punt for a touchdown a year ago against the Mountaineers, but excellent coverage. Flying down is Charles Pugh, and the Cardinals will start at about their own 15-yard line. Brohm decided to come back for his senior year. He told us no regrets, even though the team goals for the Cardinals will not be met. He has played well, and he showed scouts what he's about.
And I think you can learn a lot more about a guy when he's down and the adversity that he's had to overcome this year to keep this football team alive.
He showed his leadership throughout this whole thing, and his numbers don't fade at all, and he picks it up, actually, and it's on his shoulders tonight to drive this team up and down the field and keep up with West Virginia.
Crowd on its feet and roaring in the first play. Gary Barnage, the tight end, making his 42nd catch of the season. It's a team effort to introduce you to the Louisville offense tonight.
Starting up front with our Hogs, we have our center, Eric Woody the Woodpecker Wood.
For the Cardinals, it's the definition of a fast break offense. Quarterback Brian Brohm provides the give, and the most underrated wide receiver in the country, Harry Douglas, provides the go.
Rick Pitino's been very supportive of Cragthorpe and his struggles in his first season. They do pick up the first down, and now it's Brock Bolin powering ahead. So Bolin, part of that running back rotation, as basketball coach Bob Huggins gets equal time to introduce you to the defense.
Anchoring the defensive line is Big Keelan Dykes and sack leader Johnny Dingle. And from my hometown of Morgantown, at linebacker Mark Magro. Defensive backs are led by Ryan Monday and Eric Wicks.
Only allowing 262 yards, but Louisville, a couple of quality plays in the early going here. Sets up a 2nd and 3. Brown, pressure up the middle, fires, incomplete. He was trying to find his top target, Harry Douglas, but good pressure from Dykes and Dingle.
Jeff Castile, defensive coordinator at West Virginia, really wants to find a way to force Brohm to move his feet in the pocket. And if they can put pressure with 4 up front, then they'll have a good night defensively.
Yeah, the trick is out of that defense, 3-3-5, where's the extra rusher coming from? And from an offensive standpoint, picking up those guys, it's hard to decipher sometimes the looks.
Brom's been pretty well protected, only sacked 14 times this season. 3rd and 3. They hand it to Bolin, who's tripped up across the 35. I don't think they're going to give him yardage on the spot. Morty Ivy, the linebacker, with the tackle. They'll be short. Corey Getchie on to punt. This is Vaughn Rivers, the dangerous returner for the Mountaineers, who will win the special teams battle tonight. Edge went to the Cardinals in last year's meeting, and that was important in their home field victory. Rivers 12.1, very respectable average. Mountaineers peel back, try to set up a return. Pretty good kick from Getchie. And Rivers hammered, hit instantly. And West Virginia will set up inside their 20-yard line as Pat White brings the offense out for the first time tonight. White's been doing the majority of the running as well as the throwing. They haven't had as many touches for Slaton, and White's been active. That's what the defense has been giving them.
Well, that's right, because the defense are going to take the ball out of one of the quarterback or the pitchback's hands, and they're thinking that maybe defensively you would rather have Pat White running it, and he's done a nice job with it on the ground.
I think the stat that stands out there is 70% passing the ball this year. He's been exceptional in both categories.
1 for 656 as well, 6.8 per rushing attempt. This will be the first run of the night. White keeps it, steps up very quickly, picks up about 4. Lamar Miles on the stop. Huggins, like Rodriguez, a West Virginia alum, back with the offense.
Point guard of the offense is Pat White. Behind him, Steve Slaton, a guy I'd love to have on the front of the press. And Owen Schmidt, a big, tough guy, could definitely guard the post. Paving the way for them up front is Ryan Stanchek and Greg Isdan.
They'll throw on 2nd and 7. They flip it out in space, and Brandon Hogan, one of the talented newcomers, the freshman, takes it out near the 44, a first down, as Patino and Earl Heyman, the tackle combo on the defensive lineups.
Starting off with the G unit, we have myself, Earl Heyman.
The PTP are in the linebacker Lamar Miles. He'll be looking for another great game with double-digit tackles.
Last, we have the Duct Tape Boys, led by corner Rod Council.
We mix it up here at Louisville.
The Duct Tape Boys.
Duct Tape Boys.
Explain that one. White fires near side. Raynaud makes the catch and makes a man miss. Darius Raynaud across midfield. He's almost the forgotten man. He's been a key guy for 3 years here, number 2. 20-yard gain. He shows his speed.
Well, he is a former running back, so this is just an extension of the backfield, and this is what the West Virginia offense does so well. They can hurt you inside and outside with Raynaud in the quick pass.
That was Rod Council, the cornerback here. Slaton in the slot for the first time tonight. The Mountaineers start with good field position at their 44. For the first down throw, White fires near side, and catching the ball on the slant is Gonzalez. Tito Gonzalez, just his 7th catch of the season, good for 18 yards.
You know, when you hear coaches around the country say, hey, we'd like to run the wide open, spread open, zone quarterback read, most of them hope they can get a quarterback who can run like White. Then you get a guy that can throw like that.
I mean, that was a legitimate slant route, regular pass play, no read involved there. That was drop back and throw the football.
And White up over the ball, the up-tempo attack that they hope can get the defense on its heels and negate the idea of personnel substitutions. It's Slaton. Steve Slaton turns the corner, makes a move, and has a first down near the 25. Council on the stop, 12 yards.
West Virginia wants to play in space with speed. Defense is spread out and bunched up. Tonight you're going to see a secondary that really is a lot of former offensive guys over there playing defense now, and they're just really trying to adjust to angles.
Slaton in the slot on first down. Cardinals show pressure with 3 men up the middle. White follows a blocker, turns the corner, and gets down inside the 10. They bring pressure up the middle, and White goes, I'm going around the corner.
You know, you bring the safety up into the box. You got everybody up in there saying, we dare you to run the ball, and there goes Schmidt leading the way for White.
Big guy Schmidt. It's like the lead fullback to the outside. Find somebody, big fella.
Oh, he couldn't even find anybody to block.
He did at the end. He found a defensive back that was in the wrong spot.
10 yards down the field.
186-pound corner Johnny Patrick felt the wrath of Owen Schmidt. First and goal. White still has it. Looks to the end zone. Wide open for a touchdown is Darius Raynaud.
We've been saying how you have to play fast at Louisville tonight. Well, there's 2 phases to it. You got to play fast and you have to play smart. Pat White with a little lead here coming around to the side. He can run the football. You've got to come up and respect that. You lose secondary coverage.
You know, he had the opportunity. He might have been able to split those defenders to get in the end zone. But you know what? He said, this is just too easy. I'm going to throw it to the back of the end zone and get a touchdown pass out my rating.
Pat McAfee now 41 of 42 on the year PATs. And Raynaud collects his 9th touchdown reception this season. It's a 56-yard drive in 6 plays. There's a kickoff by McAfee. It's going to come to Trent Guy near the goal line. He drops it. Guy finds a little crease. A flag is down. There's a battle going on to the 35-yard line. A little bit of a scrum. You mentioned there's not a lot of love between these teams. Only the 3rd year in the Big East for Louisville, but it's built up pretty quick.
Yeah, you can't quite call it a rivalry yet.
No.
It's just a grudge match for a little while. But the emotion, I think, is going to help Louisville. I think they've got to come out in this drive, show some toughness, and go after it. Brohm obviously has it on his shoulder to answer that touchdown drive of West Virginia.
Brohm play action. Looking downfield, down the middle, throws into traffic. There were 4 Mountaineers surrounding Douglas.
You know what, those penalties, Coach Rodriguez, he wants hard, tough playing, but he wants smart playing.
Love to see that. Pull your guys back, get them back under control. That last decision by Brohm, by the way, going down the middle of the field was not a great decision.
Calmer approach from Craig Thorpe.
He had a few guys running with the receiver down the field and the safeties over the top. There was not too much of a window to put the ball in there.
Well, Doug, I know he wants to find Douglas, but he's throwing into some traffic. And here's George Stripling getting his turn as a ball carrier. Gets out across the 20. I mean, number 85 has been a productive player, outstanding player, but the Mountaineers are keeping a close eye on him tonight.
You know, Brohm went a little play action and wanted to go down the middle, but Wick can run with these receivers. He can come up and play. Wicks comes up to the linebacker position and can run with people down the middle of the field and stay with him.
Manageable down situation in 3rd down. They are, for the season, 50% when it's 3rd and 6 or less. So this is the situation they want to be in here. Gives them more options.
Haven't converted yet on a 3rd down tonight. 0 for 3. Stripling is the back next to Brohm. Good protection. Brohm fires to Douglas. The ball's loose. Comes loose. West Virginia jumps on it. Ruled a catch and a fumble. Mountaineer football.
On every third down so far, West Virginia's been bringing pressure, bringing a 5, a 6-man rush. This time they changed it up.
Well, they changed it up this time here. They come with the outside, and you've got in men coming, and you're going to have 3 that drop from the middle of the field. So you're getting more folks in the middle of the field to defend the inside route. Great job of Douglas in finding the ball. Just got to hold on to it.
Nice conversion. Tuck it away and get down. Know when your journey is over, Craig. Find the ground.
So West Virginia at the 25-yard line. White takes a deep drop, and he'll throw over the head of Slaton. Slaton working one-on-one against Preston Smith. Reese, thank you. 3rd down and 6. White fires over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Tito Gonzalez. Now a flag comes in. Rod Council got there a little bit early, says the official.
That's from the other side of the field that flag's being thrown from. Kind of makes you wonder how the heck he saw that all the way across.
Really makes you wonder. Council broke on the ball. It was bang, bang. It might be interference. It's real close. He reaches around, hits it. I think it's a great play. The flag comes from the opposite corner over here somewhere.
Easy, big fella.
Gonzalez didn't even turn to complain about it, did he?
No.
He wasn't even thinking it was interference. Crucial penalty instead of a field goal attempt. Now the Mountaineers set up at 1st and goal, 9-yard line.
What'd you think, big boy? Was that interference?
I didn't like the call.
I formation. That's a rarity for the Mountaineers. Schmidt in front of Steve Slaton. White still has it. Fires. Complete. Touchdown. Right on. Number 2 for number 2.
Twice now the pressure from Pat White on the corner. The threat of running with a fullback in front of him to lead block should he opt for that. Has put a lot of pressure on this Louisville defense, and then you got Raynaud, who's a great job at finding the opening. Look at Schmidt in the middle protected.
The quickness of his release and putting the ball on the money. It's just a great threat, runner throw, on the move, pulling up and throwing.
McAfee makes it 14-0. We're used to seeing the Mountaineers piling up huge rushing totals. Only 42 yards rushing so far in this first quarter, 72 passing.
You know what, the ability for Pat White to see it and immediately let it go. Kind of, you know, one of the trademarks of a Matt Ryan. You know what? Matt Ryan, BC, gets rid of the ball quick. Here they are trying to make sure that they limit this. Rich Rodriguez came from the sidelines as well, and he said, hey, get over here, let's go. Let's don't get out of control.
Louisville coming in here as a spoiler. Now you have to wonder. They haven't played bad football on defense, but they find themselves in a 14-zip hole, and Brohm hadn't gotten going yet. There's a good look at our man, Schmidt.
Yeah, that's a real Mohawk.
It's a real man.
Trent Guy at the goal line. And he fights out near the 25 as we get down to Aaron Andrews.
Well, Chris, another guy that had hoped Louisville would come in here 9-0 is, of course, their quarterback, Brian Brohm, returned this season when he could have gone to the NFL, but his head coach, Steve Crapthorpe, said the biggest reason why he will be successful in the league next year is because of all the adversity he's gone through. And he's also been able to accomplish some things, like been able to manufacture some plays. That's something Coach said he didn't do last year. Brian told us himself he's making decisions faster, he's getting the ball out quicker. And, you know, I just watched him over here on the sidelines, very, very calm, making sure Harry Douglas, his wide receiver, is okay. It's really, really poised over here on the sideline.
Aaron, he'll have to be. Louisville, 5th possession already, haven't marched past their own 45. George tripling a first down run. Tough one at quarterback when you can't generate much on the ground. Scooter Berry. The stop.
They're running play on first down that is a positive game. Keeps you in down and distance. Pick up 4 yards there, 3 to 4 yards. That's all right. You just can't come up 2nd and 10. Now 2nd and 7, you can manage that situation.
Final minute of the first quarter. Louisville trying to answer. Hard part about getting into a deficit against the Mountaineers, you got to break serve against their offense to try to get back in the game. Barnage, the tight end, collects it out across the 45. Hangs on, a big hit delivered there by Antonio Lewis.
But you know what, Doug, going back to what Steve Crackthorpe said about Brian Brohm and being able to go into a locker room in the NFL, you don't win all the time in the NFL, and so you got to know how to handle adversity and to pick up the team around you.
Especially when you're a top draft choice, you're going to the teams that are picking first or second. Unless a great team happens to trade up and needs a quarterback for some reason, chances are you're going to a team that's not going to win right away, and you're going to have to learn to deal with that.
We'll talk more about potential draft prospects for Brohm as the night unfolds. In the meantime, on first down, stop for a loss is Stripling. That try a little wrinkle there, and the Mountaineer defense just storms in there. There's our guy Magro, the hometown Morgantown hero, the guy who grew up going to these football games, not watching them necessarily, playing football outside, and then going down and begging for players' gloves after the game.
He's the one that has the bridge of his nose busted up because of Schmidt, you know.
Well, so far it's the Cardinals getting busted up in Motown, 14-0 for the all gold-clad guys after the first quarter. Louisville's powerful offense generating just 69 yards in the first quarter. The turnover setting up the Mountaineers for the short field and a 14-0 lead against Crackthorpe's team. Got to make something happen pretty quickly, you get the feeling. Anthony Allen is the tailback. To the left of Brian Brohm. 2nd and 15. Brohm fires over the middle, complete. In traffic, hauling it in is Douglas, who shakes off the fumble and takes the ball down near the 36-yard line. Gain of 23.
When you have a quarterback like Brian Brohm, you're never out of a football game. You can always get back into it. And you know, Doug, you just saw right there a classic example of a quarterback knowing where his receiver was going and waiting till the linebackers got out of position.
He basically threw the ball around the linebacker into the hole, and it's the same throw he tried to make a couple other times. This time Wicks couldn't stay stride for stride with Douglas. He ended up getting a 2- or 3-step lead on him, and Brohm had the big completion. Move the football, do not turn it over, control the football.
Cross midfield for the first time. Brohm pressured again and sacked for the second time tonight. Just a short loss. Johnny Dingle, his 7th sack of the season, the leader in that department.
Well, sometimes the eye above can show you exactly what the quarterback's seeing from below, but they're covered up really down the middle of the field. Doubling up, you're going to see in the middle of the field, you're going to see double coverage bracket, nothing there, doubled underneath. One receiver goes down on the ground, and that's been a problem. Inconsistency and dependability from his receivers.
Johnny Dingle's the trash talker in this defense. He said when he makes a play, he wants his teammates to surround him. That's what Rodriguez wants, so he won't talk trash to the other team. On 2nd and 12, it's a screen. Stripling strips away from a tackler, and George Stripling, a first down inside the 20 of the Mountaineers. Poor tackling there. Quentin Andrews finally forcing him out. Screen effective.
Very effective on the screen, and it's for a quarterback. You love these type plays where it's a freebie for you. Get it in your back's hands. Great job in the open field, making a guy miss and getting a positive gain, and you didn't have to work too hard.
Danny Barlow, number 63, the left guard, outside with a fabulous block to clear Stripling, giving him a chance up the field.
Stripling in the I formation. It's Douglas in motion. It is Stripling again. Not much. Scooter Berry off the edge. It'll be a short loss.
A couple of weeks ago, and maybe about 3 weeks ago or so, there was the question of whether or not West Virginia's defense was capable or good enough of winning a national championship. And they're quick to say around here, this defense plays a lot better this season because they're playing with confidence, and particularly at the linebacker level.
The talk was that this year they've played more coverage. They haven't come after the quarterbacks as much and as much blitzing and man-to-man. They're playing more coverage, making teams be patient and try to march the football, and they're creating turnovers.
Yeah, Brohm said a lot harder to figure out what the Mountaineers are going to do this year than it was last year, just from watching tape in preparation for this game. Brohm steps up, fires for the end zone, touchdown. Gary Barnage, the tight end, his 7th touchdown reception of the season, and the Cardinals a much-needed answer to the Mountaineers' touchdown.
Great job by the big tight end getting down the middle field. Excellent job of patience by the quarterback to wait for it to get open. And a fantastic job by the O-line giving him time to do so.
Brohm on that drive, guys, 4 for 4, 82 yards. And Barnage, the senior with whom he has a real connection, middle of the field, takes it in from 18 yards. And conversion is good from Art Carmody. He has now made it 103 consecutive PATs, a record.
That is a great answer, though, from Brohm to get back within 7 right away.
And what Aaron was talking about, this guy's not going to panic being down 14-0 on the road. He has a lot of confidence in his ability, the ability of his receivers and his offense.
Yeah.
But it was critical because how many times are you going to stop West Virginia's offense if you fall in a hole?
Aaron told us about Brohm on the sidelines and his composure. Be interesting to see what that defense is doing over there and what they're talking about on the sidelines.
Todd Flannery to kick off. Rivers and Raynaud are deep. Line drive kick. Raynaud will have a chance. Darius Raynaud. Tough to bring down. He gets across the 30-yard line. On first down. White keeps it again. Very simple play. Lead blocker gave 5 yards just like that.
That's the amazing thing. Looks like Louisville defended that pretty well. They were up in there. It's a first down run. They pick up 5 yards. I mean, that's good offense.
This is Noel Devine, the talented true freshman tailback to the left of White now on 2nd and 6. A pretty quiet night so far for Steve Slaton. There's 3 carries, and here is Devine. Very quick himself. He's got a first down to the 45. Malik Jackson on the stop. Devine, 5'8", 170 out of Fort Myers. All-world in high school, 6,800 yards, 92 touchdowns.
You know, and so you wonder if Steve Slaton does move on to the NFL after this season, the cupboard's not bare.
No.
You know, they've got a guy. Now, the question is, can he handle 20, 25 carries a game?
Well, meanwhile, Pat White says he wants to talk to his buddy, and he'll have a suggestion for him. Why don't you stick around one more year, guy?
Math guy, right? Sudoku.
That's his hobby, right?
Yeah.
You can explain that later on.
That's how he relaxes and calms down a little bit.
On first down, this is Schmidt. Owen hours ahead for
He's going to get a little nervous if Slaton takes off.
Well, we go to the meeting yesterday, you know, and Peanut's out there walking away. Well, that last play, though, whenever he got hit, you can hear it. Listen in on it. Wow.
Hear that plastic helmet to helmet. Whitehead heading for the locker room. 2nd and 6. Short gain for Slaton. Jackson on the stop.
Pat White, don't you enjoy? I mean, enjoy it. His personality starts out. You think he's maybe quiet and bashful. He's not bashful. Says he talks more smack on the field than anybody.
Yeah, his teammates say he's not that quiet on the football field. I think he's kind of shy off the field.
Well, he says he waits for them to start it, but then he'll finish it. He's not going to initiate, but if someone wants to talk with him, he'll talk right back.
On 3rd and 5, White rolls out, throws downfield, has a man. Leaping catch by Raynaud at the 10. Raynaud beat Bobby Buchanan for 31 yards. He's holding his leg. What a night for Darius Raynaud so far.
Well, Raynaud here, seeing the ball in the air, making the adjustment, coming back to it. Watch how he comes down. Oh, left leg, just kind of like a hyperextension there when he came back. Man.
Slaton and Schmidt flanking White. Slaton's got it. They're all over Steve Slaton tonight. He hasn't come close to really breaking through. Did have the long run nullified by the holding penalty earlier. But Slaton now, 5 carries for 15 yards. That's it.
Well, Wes Lyons will go in and play a little wide receiver. He's a young receiver at 6'8". Big tall guy down here in the red zone. Get the ball up in the air. Top of your screen.
Handoff in the middle. Check it. White kept the ball. Stopped at the 5.
Man, is there any doubt that that dude's trying to get to the goal line in the end zone when he's in there, Pat White?
I'll tell you, they're taking away the initial run by Slaton, forcing White to pull the ball and become the runner. White handled the ball 19 out of the first 22 snaps of this game, and Slaton's not getting his touches because the defense is taking him away first.
3rd and goal, empty backfield. Schmidt is a tight end, left of the formation. White fighting down near the goal line, stopped at about the 1. It'll be 4th and goal. Brandon Cox on the stop, and the crowd is yelling for the Mountaineers to go for it. 260 pounds of fullback lined up in front of Slaton. Slaton walks in. Mountaineers answer the answering touchdown by Louisville. Doug, you said it, very well executed. 12-play drive, almost 6 minutes.
No mistakes. The way to be sure to get the ball in Slaton's hand, put a fullback in there and a tight end, and now we can give it to him no matter what.
McAfee makes it 21-7. Now we'll see if Brohm and the Cardinals can answer once again. Tough to break serve against this offense. First touchdown for Slaton tonight.
I've learned that from experience.
21-7. It's been the Pat White show as a ball carrier and a passer. 2 touchdown passes to Raynard, and we'll check and see what his status is. Meantime, the kickoff is a short pooch kick. Fielded at about the 25. One of the up men, Brock Bolin, in a very short return. So Stripling in the backfield as Brohm drops back and fires very short over the middle. Going to the ground to catch the ball is Scott Long, his first catch tonight. Aaron, by the way, tells us from the sidelines the rainout appears to be okay, and that's good news for the Mountaineers, to say the least.
He's been a big threat in the passing game, and he's their downfield threat as a receiver and on those bubble screens when he gets that ball in his hands.
Here's Arudia bringing the play in, Craig. This is a guy with a lot of talent. He's a big 6'6" receiver, a homegrown guy, but hasn't been very productive this year by his standards. Missed a lot of action. They really need him to make this offense top shelf. There's a short pass over the middle to Stripling. The back is about 2 yards short of a first down. Magro combining with Reed Williams on the stop.
And when you watch Arudia run his routes and you talk about his health and everything, he's had a turf toe. And you can see clearly in some of his routes where he can't quite plant, dig, and come back for balls.
You know, going vertical, he'll be able to sprint a little bit, take off, maybe go up for the ball. But like you said, it's the planning and turning and cutting off, and it's just specific directions.
And you take him out of the game on 3rd and 1. 4 receivers, and number 7 is not one of them. They hand it off inside to Stripling. He's stacked up. Morty Ivy combining with Williams. We'll see the spot. They may have given him enough progress that it's a first down. Keep an eye on this. I don't know if Stripling actually got to where they spotted that ball.
No, he did.
There you go. Right there. Okay, mark it there.
Yeah, that's it.
Craig, you carry the ball. Can you do that? Can you be laying on the ground for a few seconds and place it out there like that? Is that right?
You can do anything you want, but they should bring the ball back.
You can do it tonight.
That's the first time they've picked up a first down on the ground tonight. They only have 10 yards rushing. Brohm fires, look for Barnage, incomplete. Good coverage over the middle by Morty Ivy.
You know, this crowd, Chris, I was starting to say a while ago, it's not been as loud. This crowd hasn't been crazed yet. I mean, you know, it really hadn't gotten into it here. Here you got a 2-minute drill going. You'd think that home team crowd would be up a little bit more.
All right.
Think that'll get him going, huh?
He's fired up.
That was your pep talk to the crowd?
Well, you know, you got a guy in a blue tie, and you got, you know. There they go.
I got to check my cell phone.
Text messages.
That's 2 faux pas. The tie and the checking the text messages. Brown over the middle. There's Urrutia, his first catch of the night. Mario Urrutia Turns the corner inside the 45. So the 6'6" receiver has had a quiet year. They need him.
West Virginia's playing some soft zone right now, backing up. A lot of these underneath routes, been coming up and striking the receiver for 5- and 6-yard gains. In the last 2 plays, there's been a little more cushion, probably because it's a 2-minute situation.
Rudy came back against Pittsburgh, made 4 catches, but only for 37 yards, as he's still bothered a bit by that turf tail, still not 100%. 14-yard gain. Stripling is the back on first down. It's a screen. Stripling needs a block on the corner and gets one. George Stripling into the secondary, down the sidelines, into the end zone. No, they'll spot him out. They'll spot him out. A football, a Nerf football came flying out. It's not a flag. It's a yellow football. And Stripling, I thought he was headed for the end zone. They'll spot him just short.
How about Charlie Stubbs, offensive coordinator, with a great call? You know what? I mean, you're coming up and you've been throwing the ball. You've got a defense that's backing up and they're covering. They're being soft. And you have perfect execution by the offensive line up front. Watch your offensive lineman get to the outside. 78, big right guard, Giacomini. Stripling, wow. Great block by the tight end, 81, Scott Kuhn.
Stubbs talked about his running backs by committee, and they do certain things well. Obviously, Stripling is their screen back. That's the second time. Or one.
That's in.
No signal yet.
He's way in the end zone. What takes so long?
Finally, it's been a hard-earned touchdown for the Cardinals. We thought it had the play before. Brohm plows across the goal line, and that's a very quick answer, an important answer by Louisville to cut into this West Virginia lead before halftime.
And you know what? If you're right now, Steve Crackthorpe, you ought to be over there talking to your defense saying, fellas, get ready because Pat White's got a lot of time on this clock. Let's don't blow the momentum we got.
Right, that was a great job with the Cardinals defense. They didn't go for it near midfield, pinned it back, 3 and out, boom. And now there's still a minute 48 before halftime for West Virginia to work with. Carmody automatic. Louisville actually outgains the Mountaineers 206 to 184, but it's the home team with a 7-point lead as we send it back to Reese, Mark, and Lou for the Pontiac Performance halftime report. Guys, offense has got off to a slow start in this one, but then 35 points. West Virginia 21-14 as we get set to start the third quarter. Mountaineers will get the ball to begin the second half after Todd Flannery kicks it off. You hold West Virginia to a $184 in the first half, and you're Louisville with that beleaguered defense. You did a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty short kickoff taken by Noel Devine at the 15. Devine breaks out. Their freshman has room across midfield. Yeah, White and Slaton are fast, but so is this guy, the back of the future in Morgantown. 41 yards in a hurry.
You know what? When you talk about angles and trying to catch somebody who's fast, watch the speed. There's no way.
They still didn't get a clean lick on him at the end of the play. They pulled him down. He almost split the 2 defenders.
Here are your angles. This is where you see white jerseys having no shot.
A little bit of a wrinkle. They haven't used Devine much on kickoff returns this year. He's only had 38 carries. We saw him flash his speed at Maryland earlier this season. Thought he was going to become a bigger part of the offense. He's been a little bit nicked up. Had a concussion, and that cost him a game. A fake the reverse. White still has it. Turns the corner, picks up about 6 as we check in with Aaron Andrews.
Chris had a chance to speak with Louisville head coach Steve Crackthorpe coming out of the locker room. He told me defensively what his team needs to do, tackle better. He doesn't feel like West Virginia has been able to move the ball consistently in the first half. He said we've got to take advantage of that. And also, guys, defensive end Peanut Whitehead is out for the game with a concussion. And as you mentioned, they only travel 25 guys on defense, so that is a blow.
And he gets it. Slaton knifing ahead to the 11. That's his longest run of the night.
Well, we can add to Owen Schmidt's resume reel. What a block. Coming around, hitting Malik Jackson. You see from the right side. Here he is, going to come out, kick out on Malik Jackson.
By getting the fullback involved in the offense now, you can just go ahead and hand it off, though, to Slaton and not deal with all the reads that take the ball out of his hands.
And first down. White firing short. Now Schmidt as a receiver makes a catch and picks up just one.
Good observation there, Chris. You said as a receiver. 3 times now we've seen Pat White to the left side rolling. He's thrown to a slot. He's thrown to a receiver coming from the backside. Now he dumps it off to the fullback.
Well, they showed the same exact action that they just handed the ball off to Slaton with. The fullback coming across Schmidt. This time bluffs the block, releases into the flat.
And 2nd and 9. They give a clinic here on this offense every summer. 1,000 high school coaches. It's grown from about 20 to 1,000 in 5 years. Came here to learn this offense. It's Slaton, and he's stacked up in the middle. A lot of high schools around the country are putting their best athlete at quarterback and running some variation of this offense.
Well, it's like Florida. When you look down at Florida, their option offense, their zone read, you see them at times, they'll go with a fullback leading. Here, they empty it out a lot.
You got to find a guy like Pat White at quarterback, though. I mean, that's the key is that quarterback position. A guy that can read it all. They've even added the bubble screen into the read sometimes now. And
well, there may not be a Pat White, but if you got your fastest guy, your best athlete in high school, you can still make guys miss at that level. On 3rd and 9, pump fake, fire for the end zone, leaping catch, out of bounds. The late signal, Jock Sanders, the freshman, went up, didn't get a foot down.
Throw to the back of the end zone. Sanders goes up, but a really good job. Chris Vaughn, well, actually, that's Woodney Turin. It goes back and pushes him just out of bounds.
Great shot there, toe.
Great shot.
On the white part, and leaves a mark like a clay court in tennis. You can see he's out of bounds. 28-yard field goal attempt from McAfee. And he's now hit 10 straight. So West Virginia marches the first possession of the second half. It comes away with 3. The lead is 10. Once again, the wrinkle, a new way to watch this game. The movie theaters here in Morgantown and also in Louisville. Pay you $9. You don't have to worry about the weather. You can dress differently, although it hadn't been that bad.
That's a new concept, and apparently 3/4 of that room is full. Of 1,000 seats, 750 folks.
They dressed in gold. You see that in the theater. They got in the
They got the memo. The guy with the blue shirt and a tie, no memo.
Yeah, the ties at a football game just always confuse me. You're used to seeing that various spots in the SEC.
And a white hat to boot.
It's a different look. The gloves.
No email, no text message from the friends. Give it the program.
We're making him famous tonight. Trent Guy at the goal line.
That's why he wore the tie.
3 flags fly. This guy is dropped to the 35. Something serious happened there.
Wow.
2 tight ends for the Cardinals on first down. And hand it to Brock Bolin. Bowles ahead for about 3.
Well, Coach Rod, you'll see him walk over and try to visit to get some type of read on his quarterback. But I tell you what, Coach Rod better jump back over there also and be worried about his defense, because Brian Brohm's got the ball in his hands. You don't want to let that momentum run the other side.
See all that rubber from the field? That's on his left shoulder now.
Absolutely.
Rubber pellets.
Yep.
Louisville, a real chance to cut into this 10-point lead now. Ball at the Mountaineer 45 on second down. Brohm, quick drop. Batted down. Batted down on the edge by Scooter Berry.
D linemen are taught if you're not getting pressure on the quarterback, eye him and get your hands up when he lifts that ball up to release it.
Chance for the Mountaineer defense to step up with a big stop after the turnover. The 3rd and 8. The training staff out there. There's a.
This is that area too of the field. You get close, a 4th and 1, maybe just 2-play territory.
Brohm pressured and hit. Ball loose. Picked up. Eric Wicks on a touchdown.
An enormous game-changing defensive touchdown by the Mountaineers. Johnny Holmes made the hit. Eric Wicks scoops and scores. One second, Louisville's got the ball. Trying to cut into a 10-point lead. Now when Brohm goes back on the field, he's suddenly down 17. 44 yards as the Mountaineer defense steps up and makes its biggest play of the night. Mountaineers up by 17 in Morgantown as we go to Aaron Andrews.
Chris, if you want an update on how Pat White is doing, after Eric Wicks recovered the fumble and ran it in for a touchdown, White got so excited he ran away from the training staff, grabbed his helmet, tried to run on the field. They said, no. Louisville's offense now goes on the field. He said, oh, okay, and sat back down. So then they checked him out again. Steve Slaton looked over at me and said, our guy's fine. All right.
Are you sure if he thought he had to go on the field? See how it works is when you score a touchdown, you kick off, the other team offense goes on the field.
I got a way to figure out where he is. Take him the newspaper, have him do a little Sudoku.
That's his hobby, a little numbers game.
Yeah. Figure out if he's got it.
So John Holmes, sit him down, the enormous hit. Folks in the theaters in Morgantown love that. Wicks on the return, and now Brohm will go back to work after the big sack. Trent Guy trying to create field position, and Trent Guy, he's hammered. He hesitated just across the 30. Charles Pugh, he had run by him, came back and made the hit. 30-yard return. Doug Beaumont, the freshman, into the game and in motion in the slot. Brohm flips it off and dropped by Anthony Allen. Tried to set up the screen. There was traffic, and he couldn't hold on to the ball.
Well, that's why they've had Stripling on the screens. What is he doing?
He's trying to prove that he's ready to go.
And that's going to do it, the old somersault test?
The somersault, he was just jogging back and forth.
That's the sideline test, you know?
If the hit knocks something loose in the head, you just do a somersault, and it'll get it back in place, right? Is that... If you started doing that, and I'm a trainer, I'm thinking that you just proved you need to sit down.
And he did.
What is this, like tumbling class? You might not be ready. On 2nd and 15, Stripling trying to break out, get some of the yardage back.
The old knee to the head.
You know,
I got one of those against Rutgers once and got a nice concussion out.
Against Rutgers?
Yes. We were at Rutgers. I was diving at the end of a run, and a guy running by caught me with a knee in the temple. And this looks like I have a concussion. Play at West Virginia. That was a common look there.
That's what they called the sack. They go back to 84. That was a big play.
Was it Rich's sack?
No, Rodriguez was not involved in that sack. He was on that team, though, that year.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of success moving the ball against West Virginia. We had them beat my senior year and blew it at the end.
And Matt Smith came up with that famous play in West Virginia history against Flutie. It's a short catch by Patrick Carter, the senior, his first of the night. Lewis on the stop.
And again, this West Virginia defense just keeps making plays. You know, this is an offense that has come in here, and if their defense was weak, we expected to see some production out of the offense.
Louisville forced to punt. Cardinals have just 232 total offense mid-third quarter. Boy, Rivers living dangerously, makes the catch, takes a hit, and gets slung down at the 35. Nice return. Risky, but nice. Mountaineers up by 17, back on offense, 5:11 to play in the third quarter. We'll see if White comes back in or if we'll see the backup Jared Brown. Pat White seems to have convinced the training staff that he doesn't have a concussion, is okay. He's back in the football game as the Mountaineers take over, up 17, midway third quarter. This is Slaton. Fumbles again, ball picked up in midair. Now there's a scrum. All of a sudden, fumbleitis for West Virginia. This would be first fumble to Slaton that counts. There's no way a replay is going to reverse this one, and it is Louisville football. Deion Palmer on the recovery. LT Walker.
Another great opportunity for Louisville to get back in this ball game, down 17. Again, they're in an I formation now. They're getting the ball in Slaton's hands more out of the eye, but the hit comes, the ball pops right up.
You know what? This is where you have to really be smart as a ball carrier and know that you've got to protect the football with your shoulder pads, get them down to the Palmer coming in to hit him. Don't look for the home run every time. Sometimes you got to run through it, get the pads down lower.
Might he be thinking about last year and not doing something
not
differently?
on his mind. That guy's just boom. Got to get his pads down. Quit looking for the big play.
This is Stripling. Cardinals offense needs a big play here. That's a nice gain on first down on the ground for a change. 6 yards. Stopped by number 6, Antonio Lewis. Clock at all a factor. I know down 17 third quarter, but keep in mind it's tough to stop West Virginia. I think a little urgency would be a little up tempo, maybe.
Little up tempo, but they still have plenty of time. West Virginia's not a team that usually eats up the clock. They have the big 40-yard runs, 30-yard runs, when they do move the football. So you will get the ball back if you can stop it.
There's that tight end. That's a favorite target right there.
Brohm looks left side, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Scott Kuhn, the other tight end.
West Virginia just dropping off in coverage, 2-, 3-man rush at the most a lot of times, and Brohm has nowhere to go with the football.
Well, this offense, a little bit of a change from what they ran with Petrino. They use the backs and the tight ends a lot more. There's a lot of underneath stuff, a lot of crossing stuff, and West Virginia's been pretty good on that stuff.
Well, they try to stay in the zone as much as they can because Louisville's receivers are excellent at scraping and rubbing by each other.
Also known as a pick.
Well, freeing up their partner.
Crucial play on 3rd and 6. Brohm pressure, gets it away, complete. Down near the 21-yard line is Harry Douglas. Just before pressure, he got rid of that football. Magro was there, but Douglas, a big catch.
We talked about Harry Douglas, and now that he's healthy, how much he means to this offense, and being able to stretch and get the ball down the field. Brian Brohm moving his feet just enough to buy that extra half second to get the ball down the field.
And Magro coming around the edge again on just the 3-man rush, getting the hit on the quarterback.
Now Harry Douglas closing in on a 1,000-yard receiving year despite missing a couple of ball games with injury. Brohm on the screen, it's Stripling. Has some blocks and picks up about 9. Reese, thank you. 2nd and 1 now at the 13. It's Stripling. Straight ahead, hammers inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal. First kneeled on the stop.
Very smart. You've had some plays where you've tried to run on the left side and no success. So that time the ball carrier played a little bit more up the middle. He got in there in that 0 hole right behind the center. Didn't hurt 0 hole in a while, have you?
0.
I love it when you guys talk technical. 0 hole right behind the center.
Get in the middle of the
is right up the middle. 2, 4, 6, 8 out to the right, starting inside out. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 out to the left.
You know what? Football guys just kind of need that consistency, don't we? Regardless of the team.
Until I went to Chicago and evens were left and odds were right.
Figure that out.
I don't know.
That was a pass interference on 3rd and 17. Sets him up on 1st and goal. And Bolin hammering into the end zone. Touchdown, Louisville. You've had all kinds of turnovers, would-be turnovers, wiped out by reviews, by penalties. Castile's defense gives up the touchdown. Fumble recovery there by the Cardinals. Deion Palmer setting it up. And Slaton, who had a fumble earlier in the evening, reversed by replay, does make that costly turnover. All of a sudden, as Carmody was automatic, it's a 10-point game. Still a ball game, final minute of the quarter. We'll talk more about that as the 4th quarter unfolds. In the meantime, Mountaineers will go back on offense, up 10. Good coverage by the Cardinals. Devine, a short return. As we check back with Aaron Andrews and more on Steve Slaton, who just fumbled a little while ago.
Well, Chris, Doug was saying, you know, he wondered if last year's fumbles against Louisville was on his mind. I can tell you I was watching him for a while on the sidelines. Not only did he change his gloves, but his older brother Charles came all the way down from his seat up to the wall, called for Steve Slaton. One of his teammates pulled him over to the wall, and his brother screamed at him, "Get your head in the game. Stay focused." Slaton gave him the thumbs up. He's back out there on the field, Chris.
Brother giving advice coming down there. I mean, did he need a brother to say that?
He should know himself, but sometimes you got to hear it from somebody else.
Pass over the head of Jock Sanders on first down.
I think as much as anything that Slaton's head's not in it because he didn't have a lot of carries in the first half. He's just not going.
Exactly. He hasn't broken that run yet to get himself going. He had one called back that he looked pretty good on, but hasn't had a chance to get the ball in the open field. And it gets frustrating as a running back.
Plus, he got hit pretty good on the play that he fumbled. It wasn't a careless fumble. He got hammered. Noel Devine is the back, and he's got the ball. Set up a third medium yardage.
One thing that you can say about Louisville, Steve Cragthorpe came in here. He had to take over for a coach. Brought in some new coaches, had 4 that were holdovers, and he had to really work to find the players that would play for him, you know, that would come out and
he's
get
still trying to do that, isn't he?
He's still working. It's you know, a lot of work that he's had to do. More work than people would have thought. The casual fan assumed Louisville was just a layup job.
Pump fake from White. Now he fires back on the far side. Catch made. Speeding away is Jock Sanders. Now he drops the football. Comes back and gets it. 23 yards. And Sanders, another true freshman, another Floridian that Rodriguez and staff have recruited up to Morgantown. And what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. He's got speed too, number 9.
Smaller the number, the faster you are.
White wants to go to the left. He confuses himself, comes late. I don't know if this was designed to be a choice or a double screen where he just set up with the pump fake.
Covered on the left side, went back right.
You can see that was no fumble. The ground caused it. So 15 minutes to play. West Virginia sitting on a 10-point lead. Will have the ball in Louisville territory when the fourth quarter begins. Start of the fourth quarter. Mountaineers in the unfamiliar all bright gold uniforms for the first time ever here at home. Ball at the 49. White on the run, fires incomplete. Raynaud was in traffic and had no chance to make that play. LD Scott was chasing White. That's a smile on his face.
Well, Slaton was trying to run a wheel route up the sideline, and John Russell just had him covered like a blanket and made Pat White pull it down and look elsewhere.
You can see, guys, that they've had to throw so rarely in the fourth quarter of games with the lead. White just 1 of 3 for 16 yards passing. Of course, he was knocked out of that one loss this year at USF. Didn't play the fourth quarter of that game. Well, Devine comes into the ball game and goes in the slot. 5 receivers in the pattern as White looks downfield. Caught at the 15. Now they say incomplete. Incomplete. Tito Gonzalez thought he caught it. Johnny Patrick defending him.
You know, and look, receivers all year, we've seen them pushing off. Lays out. Oh, no. Ground. Never had possession. Never, do you agree? Never had total control.
Well,
yeah.
He had his hands on the ball, and the ball touched the ground as he was trying to pull it in. So from the get-go, even if he hangs on to it at the end, it's going to be an incomplete pass because the ball touches the ground right there.
Right there.
Not quite controlled with the hands before the ball hits the ground. And now they're going to pooch punt it. It's Owen Schmidt, the fullback, who's going to get the ball. He's the pooch punter. And that's...
Oh, he missed it.
Wow. Yeah, a little wrinkle. They looked like they were going to go for it, which I thought was a lot of character for Rodriguez. That's the third punt of the year for Schmidt, and that's not one for the time capsule.
You got to understand why we're laughing. We really like this guy. He's a great guy, and he's a character and a comedian. I would give anything to be in that locker room to listen to grief this guy's going to take.
He's peeking to see if maybe he can run for an easy first down.
The guy,
he had his head up.
Power clean, 525 pounds, and he can't kick a. How much does the ball weigh?
But he doesn't look like a punter, does he?
No.
Is that a punter?
Oh.
That's a 9-yard punt by the big fella.
Oh, is he going to take some heat? He said,
whoa, 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 whoa.
Easy. Well, you did say this guy had a steel forehead at one time, didn't you?
Dude, it's a helmet. So Brohm right back to work after the 9-yard punt, and Harry Douglas.
We're going to have to get another look at that. That was... Hang on.
Easy.
Hang on.
Easy.
Easy, big
Easy on the helmet. Easy on the helmet.
Yeah, you might have to buy a new one.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Huh? You know what?
We've talked about concussions tonight. That's a potential self-concussion. That's not soft, is it? You got a look on your face, Craig.
I'm like, what did I just see?
All right, first down now, Louisville in a 10-point game. Still in this thing as Brohm steps up, fights off the sack, finds a man across the middle, and it's Urrutia. Mario Urrutia, welcome back to the offense. His second catch, and they're set up at the 26.
Boy, the rush from the pressure from the outside forcing Brohm to step up in the pocket. But you can even see Urrutia, he just doesn't have quite that push with his legs, does he? His toes.
Not the explosiveness that you're used to seeing out of him. Especially after the catch there. He might have split those two safeties.
You know what, though? 28 yards on that play, and Louisville very much in this ball game.
Big play.
The crowd had kind of gotten comfortable with the Mountaineers themselves. It's Stripling out of the backfield. Brohm fires low and incomplete. He was trying to find Scott Long.
The key to a potential comeback here is pass protection. I mean, with the 3-man rush, West Virginia has gotten pressure on Brohm. When he has a chance to step up or hold on to the ball, he's making plays up the field, and it really looks easy for him.
We'll see if the little direct snap to Schmidt and the pooch punt backfires here. It really gave Louisville good field position instead of pinning him down inside the 10 or 15-yard line with the conventional punt, giving the Cardinals a chance. And Brohm trying to make a pay, looking for the end zone. A flag. It's going to be interference. Trent Guy was working on Ellis Langster, and Langster clearly shoved him.
He extended his left arm, gave him a shove, knocked the receiver off balance. The ball was going to be incomplete anyway there, Craig.
Pass interference, number 24 on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. First down.
Guy, the speedster, sent deep.
You know, here, even, fine, push offense. We see it all the time, man. The offensive guys, the receivers, how many times have we seen it? Them pushing DBs off.
It's a one-way street, baby, and the quarterback loves it.
Oh, come on. That's actually, clearly defensive pass interference.
But,
clearly.
But what he's saying is the same type of push by a receiver would not get called, and there's a good chance it would.
That ball was catchable.
Actually, it was. I was wrong. I thought the ball landed out of bounds.
Two tight ends, play action on first down. Brohm for the end zone, jump ball, touchdown, Urrutia. So the 6'6" receiver collects just his 3rd touchdown of the season, and all of a sudden, the Cardinals a conversion away from making this a 3-point ball game.
How quiet is it here right now?
Not on the Louisville sideline. This crowd, I think, was kind of lulled to sleep. They thought the lead was pretty comfy.
Good. That's pressure on the right side. The corner's got to keep coming through the quarterback. Nice catch.
Cardinal rule is a pass rusher when you're going at the quarterback. Do not leave your feet. Continue to run through the quarterback.
They pick on Ellis Langster, guilty of the interference. And then beaten by Urrutia on the touchdown. Art Carmody.
Go ahead, bring it.
Can you have a Cardinal rule against the Cardinal?
Oh, okay, that was a curveball. Yeah, I guess so.
And all of a sudden, it's a 3-point ball game involving the number 7 team in the country. Flannery to kick off. And it's Devine with a chance. Noel Devine spins free. Can't quite escape the tackle there. There's Smith. White, 14 of 22. Those 2 touchdowns were early in the game to Darius Raynaud. They haven't been nearly as effective throwing the ball since the first quarter. It's a first down run. On the sweep, Pat White bumps into a blocker, which kept him from making a bigger gain. Buchanan there on the stop after about 9 yards.
He had a lot of room there on the cutback up through the middle of the field, runs into one of his own guys and gets caught from behind.
Well, all day he's had a day. You know what? His legs, his vision, his tenacity, and then out on the outside, the pressure of the run opens up the secondary, and he easily throws it for the touchdowns.
He also got popped here, Bohm, and there was some concern that might have resulted in an injury. White back in there.
So is the punter.
Yeah. Punter, tight end, and fullback Schmidt is to the right of White. Quarterback keeper again, and it'll be a first down across the 40. Mar Miles involved in a little fracas there. Pretty clear evidence that his jersey was grabbed.
You think? No holding on that play. No, I just had an itch. I pulled it down.
Slaton tries to run downhill. Cardinals defense has to step up here. 5.5 to play. It's White. In traffic, loses the football. Fumble. Louisville's got it. What's going on with the Mountaineers? Another turnover.
This is the same problem that West Virginia had against South Florida earlier this season, and they just fall apart.
Another fumble by White. Maurice Mitchell on the recovery. Lamar Miles caused it. Ball security should be the #1 issue, protecting a 3-point lead in the fourth quarter. 3 lost fumbles by the Mountaineers, and now Brohm and company are set up at the 37.
Great effort by the linebacker coming in. Lamar Miles, 22, attacking, playing full speed to the football.
Brohm will run. Slides and gets hammered near midfield. Quentin Andrews on the collision. Brohm picks up a first down. So 6 turnovers now, 3 for each team.
See that brace, Doug? Did you ever have to wear a knee brace? You know, when you slide and it would get messed up in there. And
I never did, and he's either got to slide a little quicker or get a flag from an official for getting hit after he slides. I'll tell you what, people take shots. They know a quarterback is going to the ground, and they lay out to get there.
Yeah. Clean hit there, though, didn't you think, by Andrews?
Yes, but it was borderline.
Pressure off the edge. Brohm retreating and just throws it into the ground. Stripling was in the area, and now another flag comes in. John Holmes, who made the big play in the blitz earlier, which forced the fumble, was in again. And now it's defensive holding.
Wow. Probably on the screen back, trying to get out.
Brohm was just trying to throw the ball into the ground, and they end up giving him yardage on the penalty now.
Holding, number 96 on the defense. 10-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. It will be first down.
Well, Stripling is trying to get out for the screen. He gets held by the defender, so Brohm has no option but to throw it away into the ground.
Those are the last 2 penalties. This is the shot. Boom. As Lewis went up high on the head of Brohm. That cost him 15. And then the hold moves it 10 yards to the 21-yard line.
Right here. Moving.
They fake the throw. Stripling. Short gain. Dingle on the stop. Boy, what a turnaround has been in this game, and a potential turnaround for the season of the Louisville Cardinals. 5-4, a big disappointment, a big underdog here tonight. West Virginia, number 7 in the BCS. And the Cardinals look to be almost done. Remember, they were down 17. There was the interception, the long return nullified with the pass interference penalty. They went in and scored again, and West Virginia has been self-destructing with turnovers in the fourth quarter. Brohm, again, pressure, fires for the end zone, just out of the reach of Carter. Patrick Carter had beaten Langster just out of his reach.
I think that answered a question for me. I'm wondering, is Steve Crackthorpe going to go for it? Is he going to be conservative here, try to make sure he gets 3 out of the thing? He's going for the end zone.
He's got one of the best field goal kickers in college football history. Art Carmody, the senior, is going to be the all-time career scoring leader in the NCAA before he's done, but he wants to keep Carmody on the sidelines.
Common thread on 3rd and long is pressure for West Virginia. Ivy had the pressure on the last play.
There's that tight end again.
You're thinking end zone, but don't make a mistake if you're Brohm. He fires into traffic. He tried to get it to Barnage. It was broken up nicely there. J.T. Thomas, the 3rd string linebacker, covering one of Brohm's favorite targets on a critical play and making a nice play. And here is Carmody. Notice that 56 of 69 career. He came into this game needing just 15 points to break the career NCAA scoring record. Trying to get 3 points closer. Cardinals trying to score 17 straight points. And they get protection. The Lou Groza Award winner from 2006 is the top kicker in the country. Doesn't usually miss. So the turnover, the fumble, the 3rd of this half by West Virginia gives Louisville life, and they cash it in.
Now you've got to wonder, West Virginia mentally, this offense, with the balls that they put on the ground, will they come out and be aggressive enough to do something with it?
Look at that, guys. Last 6 possessions, 3 turnovers, fumbles by the big guns on this offense. 2 by White, 1 by Slaton. Total of 82 yards in 6 drives. Now at a conference championship, Connecticut can't clinch if West Virginia loses this game tonight, but Mountaineers fall in a deep hole 2 games behind if they don't get the win. All of that stuff now riding on the next 3 minutes and 5 seconds.
This would be a rather large kickoff and kick coverage. Devine back there is tough to bring down.
Have Vaughn Rivers back there. Darius Raynaud. Devine not deep. It's unusual. Raynaud receives it at the 6-yard line. And Raynaud picks his way across the 30 up near the 35.
Yeah,
so here we go.
The interference was a 3rd and 17.
White, a 1st down throw. It's complete. Jock Sanders, short gain, forced out by Rod Council.
You saw the strategy there. No pass rush, just 4 guys at the line of scrimmage. Hold your position. Don't let Pat White outside.
Five receivers in this formation. And White will take off. Ducks ahead, gets a 1st down up near midfield.
And West Virginia's philosophy has to be just moving the chains because it's 2:20 to go, plenty of time. All you need is a field goal. Just methodically move the football and go for a game-winning field goal.
But you need your quarterback to regroup, Doug, and he's had a couple turnovers, a couple fumbles in this half. White fires, going up and getting the football near midfield is derail Jalla.
Now that's a big-time throw and catch.
It was.
And Louisville is inviting it. I mean, they really are not going to try to put pressure on. You see the balance up front, trying to contain Pat White. What a catch going up. Good job.
Both feet in bounds. Just for good measure.
So they get 12 yards back. It's 2nd and 8. White darts up the middle. Pat White in the open field. Pat White to the house. A very poor 2nd half for the quarterback, but he goes half the football field, 50 yards, to give West Virginia the lead. So dangerous if he gets just the tiniest crease. McAfee adds the point. 1:36 for Brohm to work with. White, 181 passing and now 147 rushing.
Well, and you know what? Louisville's up there, and they're trying to really play safe at the defensive line to keep this from happening. But what you have to understand is if you're standing still and Pat White starts going, you have no shot of getting an angle to catch him.
Watch the safeties. The safeties are looking to bracket receivers.
And the line, and then watch the line.
They're getting, and they get out of the picture. They're learning, they're just clearing the whole middle of the field open. Once White breaks the line of scrimmage, he's off and running.
Gets just enough of a block downfield there. That's a good job by Tito Gonzalez to clip the last man out of the play. Not clip him, but block him and spring White.
It is not over.
No, sir. Third edition of Louisville versus West Virginia in the Big East. All three games have been entertaining. All three games have been tight. 2 years ago, a multi-overtime win by the Mountaineers as they rallied. It was the coming out party for Pat White and Slaton that night. Low kick. Gets past Guy. Rolls back to the one, and he just falls down. A disastrous play for Louisville's special teams. Trent Guy, who had the punt return for a touchdown a year ago against the Mountaineers, let the ball get by him, and then went back and fell on it at the one, slipped down there.
How many times do you hear fans and those Monday morning quarterbacks talk about not kicking the ball, dribbling it down the field? When it's right here's the example of why it works. You dribble it so they can't get a good clean catch on the ball to return it.
The old croquet, that was through the wicket there. He looked like he was looking up at the coverage team. Took his eye off of it.
Stay down on the ball, son. You know, when your shortstop, get the glove out in front, reach for the ball. Now, Brohm, 99 yards away.
Now, this is a challenge for a quarterback. Minute 34, they have 2 timeouts. Short completion to Stripling. And Ducks near first down yardage at the 11. That's a good start. Morty Ivy on the stop there.
I don't think time will be an issue on this thing, but 2 timeouts, move the chains when stop the clock to move the chains. Don't panic.
As long as you're making first downs.
Brohm on the run. Ducks under at the 17-yard line. Now the clock ticking. Do they spend a timeout here? They decide not to. That was costly. He'd been better off just throwing that ball away. Picked up 5 yards, but cost himself a lot of time. Another short completion. Stripling ducking under. He'll have a first down. The clock will stop. They move it to the 24, but only 46 seconds left now.
Yeah, that was a costly scramble there. Once he broke out, if he could have thrown the ball away or continued to out of bounds instead of getting back up the field.
My approach there was if the clock is running and you're going to save time, use a timeout.
Still working underneath. This is a short reception by Barnage. Not a first down, and they'll have to spend one of those timeouts with 31 seconds. And they're still 67 yards away from the end zone. West Virginia trying to chase Connecticut. This old gold crowd. Not out of the woods yet. Only 31 seconds for Brohm to work with and a long way to go. Dinking and dunking, which has been a big part of their attack, won't work now.
Yeah, get to the point where you're going to have to force one up the field somewhere. If you don't force it up the field, the best you can do is get the ball near midfield and throw one for the end zone.
Saw smiles from Pat White. He won't be pleased with himself for those 2 second-half fumbles that let Louisville back in this game, but in the end, the 50-yard touchdown run by White is the difference. Brohm again, a short throw dropped by Stripling. He was thinking about getting to the sidelines after the catch. Forgot to make the catch.
If Brohm has the ability to step up in the pocket the way he just did and look to one side of the field and kind of lift up for a pump fake, he may have an opportunity to make a big play downfield to the opposite side. But only if he has that opportunity to step up and move towards the line of scrimmage to make a long throw down to the opposite sideline.
That's the guy, 85, Harry Douglas, left side.
Brohm again fires short to Stripling. They'll get the first down, which will stop the clock momentarily, but they're still 60 yards away.
Grounded here. Reload. 19 seconds. He's not. He's going to try to run it up.
Brohm finally will look a little bit downfield, incomplete. Douglas was sliding, couldn't come up with it, and now just 9 seconds to go.
With 9 seconds left, he still has the one timeout. That's why I say back when you got tackled, you have to use your timeouts while you know you're saving some clock. You don't want to end up with one in your pocket.
What do you know about Hail Marys?
I know
nothing. Play at the end of the game.
But now they can still go somewhere in the middle of the field, try to get it down the field in range to throw the Hail Mary on the last play because you have a timeout.
Taking a lot of time here. Brohm heaving it. Jump ball on the carom. Who's got it? Intercepted by Antonio Lewis as the final gun sounds. In the end, satisfaction for Pat White. They made it close with the mistakes and a nice rally from Louisville. But the Cardinals come up short. And that's one of the stories of 2007 as they dropped to 5-5. Still a win short of bowl eligibility. West Virginia still pursuing the conference crown and still in the hunt. Here's the final play again.
You got to have one in the middle. You got to have one behind, and then there's a trailer coming in looking for the deflection and the tip. They're in position. Louisville receivers are in the right position. They just couldn't get there.
Harry Douglas caught a Hail Mary at the end of the Kentucky game, but ended up at the 10-yard line and couldn't get in the end zone. So they do that very well, gave themselves an opportunity, falling short.
Once again, Louisville and West Virginia is exciting. For Doug and Craig and Aaron, I'm Chris Fowler. Sports Center up next on ESPN. ESPN News has our post-game extra.